Hi everyone, it's Smitha. Today I'm going to be talking about a new bundle of shadows that's going to be launching from Clionadh. This is in collaboration with Angelica Nyquist, and basically this is her updated 10 shadow favorites. She came out with a bundle like this several years ago, and basically the idea behind this is that if you're new to the brand, this is a really great way to try an assortment of shadows of all different categories at a discounted rate. And what I really quickly want to mention is that when I tried Clionadh several years ago, my first introduction to the brand was Angelica's original bundle. So this is definitely a full circle moment for me. I do want to mention that these shadows are already discounted, so they're not code eligible, but if you have anything else in your cart, affiliate codes will give you an additional discount. And there is a sale that Clionadh is running and starting on the same day that these launch, which is April 18th. So I'll go ahead and put mine at the top of the screen. Also, I do have one of the shades on my eyes right now. This is Mural, and it is part of Angelica's bundle that's launching. Let's go ahead and get into some detailed swatches and looks. Light Fast is an iridescent shadow. It has a smooth texture and it shifts bright pink, yellow, orange, and red. Chandelier has a mustard yellow base. This is a glitter type multi-chrome shadow, and it shifts turquoise, indigo, violet, and pink. I find this to be a really great day-to-day shade, and it's been around for quite some time. Definitely a classic for Clionadh. Next we have the shade Thorn, which is a vibrant type multi-chrome shadow. It has a smooth texture and a yellow base. It shifts pink, gold, and lime. I love this shade because it's a yellow multi-chrome, and these are pretty hard to come by. This one is just such a bright and fun shade. Next we have the shade Aureate, which is described as a deep iridescent duochrome shadow. This is a really bright yellow and it has a gray base. I used this shade in a look recently and I was absolutely blown away with how bright and electric it is on the eyes. Next we have the shade Flare, which is a glitter multi-chrome shadow. Flare has a red-orange base and it has green, mint, and red shifts. This is another fiery tone shade that I think would be so nice in the warm summer months. Next we have the shade Coronation, which is a vibrant multi-chrome shadow. Coronation has an orange base, and it has pink, peach, and chartreuse shifts. This is another really beautiful fiery toned multi-chrome shadow. Next we have the shade Vermilion. Vermilion is a deep iridescent multi-chrome shadow. It has a warm tan base, and it shifts pink, orange, gold, and lime. These deeper iridescent shadows are extremely unique to Clionadh because the idea behind them is that they were made so that people with deeper skin tones could wear them without some of the effects of white cast that can happen with other iridescent shadow formulas. Next we have the shade Coat of Arms, and this is called a hybrid multi-chrome shadow. Coat of Arms has a really beautiful deep plum brown base, and it has blue, indigo, and red shifts. Next we have the shade Lineage, which is a vibrant multi-chrome shadow. This one has a really beautiful ethereal mint base, and it shifts pearly pink, gold, and lime. And then last but certainly not least, we have the shade Mural. Mural is an electric multi-chrome, and it's been one of the most popular shadows that Clionadh has had for the past few years. I actually shared a look with it not too long ago. Mural has a minty base, and it shifts orange, pink, yellow, and lime. This is definitely one of the most unique shades that Clionadh has. Now I'm going to show you what all of the shades I just talked about look like swatched in the back of my hand. I could gladly talk about Clionadh for hours because, as I've said before, they're definitely one of my favorite brands, and I really stand behind the quality of their products, and I think they have a great team and treat customers well. Here's a close-up look of what the shade Aureate looks like on the eyes. Aureate is a deep iridescent duochrome, and this is what the shade Mural, an electric multi-chrome, looks like on the eyes. And here's a close-up look of the iridescent shadow Light Fast. I paired all three shadows with an Urban Decay eyeliner. Okay, now I'm going to use a few of the shades that I haven't used yet to make a sunset eye on one look and more of a deeper blue look using Coat of Arms on the other eye. I wanted to focus on using Clionadh, so I'm going to use some of the mattes from the Archeo palette. And I'm going to start off with this yellow matte and just put it all over the crease. And I am going to keep the look pretty simple because I really do want to focus on showing the shifts of the multichromes. Now I'm going to dip into this orange matte. That is so pigmented. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this orange on the lower lash line as well. I'm really excited to use Thorn in a Look because this is a shade that I don't have in my collection, and so I've never gotten to do a look with it. But I'm going to basically put this all over the inner portion of the lid. I find that the red in it is just going to lend itself so well to a sunset look. This eyeliner from Urban Decay on the waterline. And now my current go-to mascara, the Kulfi mascara. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so you can see this is the first finished look. For my second look, I'm going to dip into the Oceano palette, and I'm going to use primarily these two blue mattes here. Starting off with the shade Lagoon, and just, ooh, that is pigmented. In the outer corner, I'm going to go in with that navy blue matte undertow. Blend it in. I blew that out just a little bit further than I wanted to, but that's okay. I'm going to add this on the lower lash line. Now I'm going to go in with the shade Lineage, and that is this lighter shimmer here. And I'm going to actually use a flatter brush for that, just so I can be a little bit more precise with where I'm putting the shadow. And I find that these Clionadh shimmers apply really well with the brush. They aren't flaky, so, you know, I do like using a finger just so that I can get as much intensity as I can. And because these shades aren't flaky, they do apply really well with the brush in addition to your finger. And now I'm going to go ahead and go in with Coat of Arms. I think actually for this one, I am going to use my finger for this part. So I just realized that I wanted to add a little bit of an inner corner shade, and I haven't used Chandelier yet in a look. So I'm going to add this to the inner corner and to the brow bone. And Chandelier has a green shift in it that does make it work with this look, and it does have a sheerness to it that makes it a good topper shade as well. And here is the second finished look. So I liked doing this because it allowed me to show you 5 more of the shades in action. Previously, I had shown you eye swatches of Aureate, Mural, and Lightfast, but I hadn't gotten to use as many of the shades as I wanted. So I'll be right back with some wrap-up thoughts. Alright everyone, I hope that now that you've had a chance to see some detailed swatches and eye looks, that you found this video helpful. Please let me know in the comments if you plan to pick up this bundle or are thinking about it or have anything else on your wish list, and I'll see you in the next video.